Hanging from the cross, Jesus has spoken to God on behalf of all of us, asking God to forgive us even when we don't realize our own sins or want to own up to them. He then turns to offer a second word to the criminal on the cross beside him, assuring him of his continuing presence even in his suffering. Jesus' third word has brought together Mary and John in a new relationship, creating family out of deep brokenness. And the fourth word from the cross brings confidence to all of us who question our faith when we have feelings of forsakenness. Jesus' own words assure us that we're in good company and that our faith in such times is perfectly natural and perhaps surprising to us, even profoundly deep. Jesus' fifth word from the cross puts to rest any doubts that we may have had about Jesus' humanity or his ability to relate to what we may be going through when we feel the life within us being wrung dry. His second to last statement gives us a window into his spirit of resolve. It's finished, he said. And now, needing no longer to ration his energy or to measure his breath, he reaches out with heart and soul. Emptied of everything now, he lets go of his life and offers it to God as an offering of confident and ultimate trust. Into your hands I commit my spirit. It took Jesus hanging on the cross 3 hours to die. Most people, if asked how they would want to die, give the answer, in my sleep, or quickly. We don't want to have a lot of time to think about it. But Jesus has 3 hours, and he uses every one of them to connect with the people around him, his family and his God, and also to be honest with himself around what he needed and how he was dealing with it in real time. If we were told we had 3 hours to live, I wonder who we would want to speak to most in that list. Would we have any words of wisdom to share with anyone? Barely able to breathe, Jesus takes charge of his dying. He takes his life out of his hands, or at least the hands of his tormentors, and he hands it confidently to God. Into your hands I commend my spirit. Now, one dictionary definition of commend is to present as suitable for approval. If you've ever handed your life over to God and had a hard time with what you felt God calling you to the next day or the next week, well, then you know what a fearful thing it can be. Handing your life over to God involves incredible trust. It involves the appetite for doing things for God that we'd otherwise perhaps never consider doing. Risky, dangerous, selfless stuff. But as well, the deepest sort of comfort, knowing that there would be no other than God with whom we would trust our life or our dying. Jesus' death is not a surprise to us. The gospel writers warn us that it's coming, but it's the way Jesus died that stuns most of us. The peace that Jesus shows us from the cross doesn't come from simply accepting defeat. It comes from one final act of giving. Jesus was giving back to God the gift that God had given to him. The gospel writer reminds us all that no one took Jesus' life. Jesus gave it up to God. When the time comes for any of us, may we have the faith and grace to do the same, to find our peace in giving to God the life that God has given to us. But in the meantime, let's continue to give ourselves, and in the process, find that peace that comes from knowing God's got this. I'm Craig Rumble. Thanks for being together with Markham Baptist Church.